D. Morrow, and you listen to the Talk 100 podcast. As we attempt to better understand the world, we link up, kick it about current events, always making sure we keep it a buck. Check us out online at talk100.com, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Twitch at Talk, the number one, HUNNID. Thanks for being here on a Friday night, giving us your support. If you want to link up with us and be a part of the conversation, you can catch the live show on our website by clicking the live link in the navigation bar. Got to start off with a huge salute to our sponsors and biggest supporters, New Leaf Home Solutions out of Waterford, Michigan, a premier real estate investment company which can help you make your dream home a reality. Also, serving the Metro Detroit area, Herbal Rotation LLC, a company which helps to draw awareness to responsible herbal healing and also helping to diminish the harmful effects of opioid abuse in society. You can catch the newsletter every Monday morning at 8 a.m. at herbalrotation.com/news. Last but not least, we have D. Morrow from the Real Sports Time with D. Morrow show. Check him out on YouTube all week long, current topics and all that good stuff. And also at realsportstime.com.
You are listening to Talk 100 with Tim Springer, D. Murdoch, and Jay Raphael. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard
Fellas, what up, though?
What's happening?
Hey, what's going down, fellas?
What's
Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How was y'all week, man? Y'all still celebrating them Lakers?
Oh man, you knew you got it out of your off the tongue faster than I could even get to it, baby. You know I'm still happy. I've been happy at work all week, celebrating, dribbling the basketball every chance I get, and just having a good old time.
That's what's up, man.
Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
so, hey,
you didn't get in on that spread, did you, man?
No, but that spread all the way to the very last game, it was right close. Almost like they told them, y'all can go ahead and win and however it's going to end. But the spread of how this is, y'all better not mess these numbers up.
yeah, that was definitely a
Wow.
good game. I'm looking forward to the next season. I think it's going to be in the bubble again, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll go into some other stuff too, because they even got some bubble information for playoffs for the NFL too that I found out. But yeah, very interesting week. We in the fall now, starting to get cold.
Yeah, and that COVID is spreading again right at the beginning of the cold season. What you think about that?
Well, that's a good question I was going to ask. I've been hearing that they said the cases may go up. Is it because of the cold air? Because how does that whole thing work with viruses in general? When you talk about the cold air versus if it's hot, how does that affect that? Because they keep the inside of these commercial buildings. Remember, they keep them cool. I thought that was to help bring down viruses.
But I think it's got more to do with people being inside together than anything else. It's going to spread because everybody's in the house around each other more or inside of a building somewhere and not outside in the street. That's what it seemed like to me. I mean, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but that seemed like common sense. Yeah, but I definitely think they're going to be rocking in the bubble again for 2021. You know, I don't know what's up with the NFL. I don't know what they're gonna do, but it seems like it's spreading in that league the same way.
Well, they're just trying to touch on saying that by the time they get to the playoffs, they want to do a bubble confined thing too, where I guess it's one, a couple fields and everything. But here's the thing: they better make it to the playoffs first with players.
Yeah, that's true. Right, exactly.
What good is it? You might not make it to the end of December with enough players on each team.
Right, or the good players. That's the thing. It's like they'll probably always have players, but then they'll be trying to put another asterisk on something because everybody's
they
not
definitely.
Here.
And I'm not even gonna argue against it. I'm gonna go ahead and support it then, because if you're dragging people up from the practice squad and that, because everybody's losing star players left and right, and it's like I said, the practice squad and other people grabbing people like you said off the couch, like free agents, and they might even give Kaepernick a call. So come on in here. Now we ain't got no choice but to bring you back because everybody got this COVID, now, and hopefully you don't get it. But that's the only reason we got it. They might even bring him back.
Yeah. I see they canceled the debate too because of the I guess due to Trump having the virus.
Yeah, and now they don't want JoJo to get it. They don't want JoJo to get it. JoJo Biden and Kamala.
Hey man, Trump caught that COVID and got the moonwalking, baby. He said he immune.
Yeah, I saw him dancing on TV the other day. Did y'all see that? Y'all catch him up there strutting his little step?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see him. I didn't catch him.
Hilarious, man. And and when you think about him, it's always trying to, drill something into somebody. So it was not that he was just, to me, he was celebrating the moment. It was more of him like, look at me. I got COVID and I'm still out here, can do this and do that. It was like taunting to me.
Yeah.
It may have been taunting. That may have been some taunting. Or him still just trying to, he's going to flip this scenario and the narrative, of course, of if I have this, it's definitely not going to be a thing of it's time for everything to be down and all that stuff. Like, I'm not going to allow that to happen. I got to be, and on one end and on the normal circumstances, or we're not talking about a COVID or something, then yeah, it's good to be in good spirits and all that good stuff. But definitely it don't need to be, if it's not, it don't need to touch on the mockery of it because some people haven't been doing so well because they have other underlying health issues. We know that's the whole issue.
Yeah.
COVID's not a death sentence. What happens is some complications start happening from some other underlying health issues. That's what's scary about different people catching it. So
now did you get a chance, Montel, to see the I guess they did some town halls, him and Biden. I caught a little bit of the Trumps. I didn't see Biden's, but I saw him getting grilled by CBS reporters, and he was just kind of, the little clip that I saw, he was just kind of going back and forth. They asked him about did he owe $421 million. He kind of talked around that. They asked him about COVID. He talked around that too, They asked him about QAnon. He kind of talked around that. He did say he don't support nobody who's down with pedophilia, but I don't hear a lot of the Democrats or the non-supporters saying anything about that. But he did say that he not with that. But the whole group as a whole, he kind of like just shuffled it a little bit.
Oh, that's his base. He not going, like I said last week, man. He's not going to go against his base. So, And actually, that group Q, man, that's the one that's putting out that information about Hillary Clinton and all of those pedophiles. So, he kind of touched on it, but he's not going, he's going to let them do the groundwork. He just trying to float. What he's trying to do, man. He's just trying to float into election, because as of right now, man, he got the numbers.
Based on what?
He got the numbers?
Based on what, though? I want to know what that was based on.
Me too. I like to know.
The polls?
No, he got those key states with the electoral votes. So he could lose again. In fact, the first time he lost the general election. So, when if you get the looking into like those key states that hold a lot of those electoral votes where they don't have a huge population, a lot of those people, man, those are the like the backbone of his support system, those key states. So hey, we'll have to see, because Biden is losing grip, on even the black support. It's being split, as you can, I don't know, we want to get into that right now, but with the Ice Cubes and just the ADOS movement.
Yeah, we're gonna get on it.
Yeah. It may go down to the wire, but as of right now, he's looking solid.
So as far as, well, I mean, just I guess we finishing up the COVID, but I saw that Kamala Harris and they suspended their travel because a couple people got or tested positive. So it's definitely spreading, and it's touching, them areas that you really need to pay attention to. Like if these people are getting infected, then other people can get infected too, And they up there talking about it, but it's a whole lot of people out here dying. They don't have access to good health care and all these other things. And I don't know, it's kind of just like, just taunting it, man. Like they're really taunting people and celebrating the fact that you see Chris Christie come out talking all of this crap about it. Like we should listen to him now, when before he wasn't like other people I know, like really down with the, protecting yourself, social distancing, masks, and all of that type of stuff. But now, these people are coming down and, getting infected. So a lot of people looking more closely to it today. What about the stimulus packages? Anybody get an update on that?
Last I heard was the same thing. There won't be any stimulus packages. This is per Donald Trump. There won't be any stimulus packages until January, until after I'm back in. You don't put me back in here, you ain't getting no money.
Well, I don't
Go
think
on,
it's from
Skrilla.
Trump. Trump already said that he already moved it up to 1.8 trillion. So as far as the money is concerned, they've moved up from where they began for this second round. It's Nancy Pelosi. She want 2.2 billion. I mean trillion. Sorry.
They're gonna politic it out until the last minute, because they've been going back and forth with this and the details, and they're gonna politic it, man. They're gonna politic this whole thing, man, to the wire, man. It's a clown show right now.
Politics really. And popos.
Exactly.
What's up with these police though, man? They going crazy out here. You sent me a video, Montel, of the Texas, I guess. I don't know if that was the mayor. Was she actually the mayor down there in Texas? You sent me that video of some black guy being pulled over, and they was leaning on his car as they were, addressing him for speeding. So it was like some sheriff. So it was a cop there. It was an old guy too. He didn't look like he could do nothing with nobody. But he was there standing with a woman who said she was the mayor of whatever city they were in, and another white guy. It was 3 white people, and the guy who got pulled over was black. And they was just taunting him, and they was leaning all on his car, and he was like, "Why are y'all leaning on my car?" And they was both filming each other. So the woman was filming him, and he was filming her, and she was calling him a liar.
No trust.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was an actual mayor though. That's what I didn't really look back into it. But if that's the case, it was. And
but the to me the highlight of the police debacle was the officer who got stabbed in the neck.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Wow.
That.
Wow.
Maybe that's the one you sent me. Is that the one? I know
that's the one I sent you, man.
Yeah.
And like that whole thing, man. If you watch that video, you got a young white kid who was running from the police, and the police caught up with him. And, he's just like, are you scared? And he's just talking to him in just the most politest way.
It was as
possible.
If they knew each other though, right? It seemed like he knew the kid.
That's what I think. He knew he had some kind of mental situation going on, but I didn't run across that part. To me, the only thing that matters is the fact that when he basically begged the young man to just, surrender and quit running, and you can't run from me because I run, and you could tell the cat was up to something.
Yeah.
And he just had his hand hid, and the officer got close to him, and the young kid stabbed him in the back of the neck.
Yep.
And in the process of doing that, he started running away. The officer chases him down, And in the process, that's where the live action actually happened, because he kept switching from the gun
To the taser.
to the taser.
Yeah, I saw
Hey,
that.
freeze. And it was like a video game, you know, you just running and, you know, switching. He wanted to shoot him, you know, but then he's like, nah, I better not do that. He put the gun back in the holster, grabbed the taser gun, and he ends up tasering the kid, and the kid fell. I think he tased him twice. And then you know, his support team came and they handcuffed him, and they like, you okay? And yeah, he stabbed me. And it was just like a normal day at the office. Now, my mind couldn't help but to think of all the videos of these black men being murdered on camera, doing way less than this young man. And just the patience that this officer showed was just like extraordinary.
Which should happen with everybody.
It should, but that's not always the case. So, I mean, that just is a testament to show you just how we're treated as opposed to other ethnic groups or, you know, other races here in America.
Privilege.
You know.
So where are they getting? There's no such thing as privilege and police, you know, brutality. You're right, because they gave him every opportunity to stab them in the neck or kill him, you know, throughout that arrest. That was kind of wild, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to send that to you. Did you see that, D? I'm gonna send it to you after the podcast.
Definitely send it over. I may have seen it, but I definitely seen another clip of an adult that took the sheriff's car from them, wrestled him down with them, and he ended up taking that car. That was released about a month ago.
White guy?
Oh yeah. He was wrestling with them, and they were begging him, "No, don't do it, don't do it." This is the officer, the female officer. The man's on the ground. He wrestled them both down. Don't do it, sir. That's not. They begging him. Now he all alone. He getting the keys. I mean, not the keys, but he's opening up their door. They still. First of all, what are y'all doing out of shape like that? I'm looking at them like they're crazy. First of all, because of that. Second of all, if that was John from 8 Mile and DeQuinder or something, trust me, that would have been a whole different thing. But nobody should have did what he did. Nobody should have did that with the police. You're not supposed to go against them like that, man. And he was doing all those things that we've heard them claim the threats have, their lives feel threatened. All of that stuff that they felt threatened about, he did. Except for no, he didn't have a gun. But he resisted arrest. He wrestled them down. He obstructed. Then he took police property, got in the car. He was bagged up. Listen, he had to back up to turn the road because he was trying to go back down the other way of the little road that they were on. So he actually bagged up. Window was down. She barely getting up. Don't do it. Don't do it. Didn't have her hands near her gun. I'm not shooting him.
And it's like, how could you possibly not feel threatened by some of these behaviors? You know, how could that not be, you know, qualify as something that makes you feel threatened for your life? And we do way less than what they say we do.
Meaning, because you're right. Because you know what, Jay? And I know you're not trying to create nothing, but it's funny you mentioned that. If you see the video, and I'm going to get that clip to you too, like you're going to get the other one to me. Actually, it could have been a dangerous thing because it was a narrow road. And when he bagged up, the car was near them. Let's just say he decided to hit them. Actually, he could have ran her over. Honestly, so you're right. Technically, that is how that could have been looked at. Where it's like, wait a minute, I got to stop him. Let me shoot the tires out, and I hope, and like you said, maybe in another circumstance, they would have shot him. But no, that could have been looked at as a threat too. When he got in that car, in their car, bagged up, they're still kind of getting up from the ground, and they're almost in the way of the thing. He didn't hit them, and drove off.
It's like a live a game of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, that's what it reminded me of. We all played Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, we seen it.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yep. And they out here running around like as if that's real life. That's crazy. I seen a bunch of different articles this week, man, and we're gonna I guess
transition.
transition to business topics. Now, I was looking at one article that said the film industry made a record-breaking $100 billion last year in 2019.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
That is, I mean, it was that much.
Yeah, so the article that I caught earlier yesterday or today was that how AMC is now renting out their theaters for $99. I didn't go into it. I'm just going off of the headline, but you know my question is like, do you see the movie industry making a comeback from this? Like, can the drive-ins make up for $100 billion? Do you see a
No,
scenario where they could at least, work their way up to somewhere close to that?
no, because just how the culture is moving now, with the whole streaming service, it just seems like it's just going to go straight to streaming unless they can come up with some creative ideas um, to get people back in those movie theaters. But during the COVID, it's not going to happen. So you have a real dilemma at this point. You got some staple industries that could suffer long term due to COVID. So would there be some kind of stimulus, to get those businesses back going, or are we just going to let them die?
Well, I mean, we
Well,
can't really get them back going
I believe
because,
they had, yeah.
yeah, you can't get them back going because that would mean that people got to be there. Even if you do
Exactly.
every other seat, you're still not going to be making $100 billion because you're only getting 50% of the people showing up, and that's with the people who don't really care, who don't care about masks or social distancing or whatever. They're going to show up.
But the small companies could benefit off of it if you really think about it. They can create like smaller rooms and rent those smaller rooms out. I'm talking about like maybe rooms that seat capacity of like 50 people, and you just rent out a hall and you section it off, and you can throw your kids party in there. You can throw just like a Friday night at the movie theater and just rent you out a small room. Just
And you
to,
know what? That's very true. But something else they could do, and this could benefit the independent filmmakers. Maybe it's time for them to start doing partnerships with them. The big studios aren't going to do, they still will create movies, but they can always wait to release them and wait on some time. But in the meantime, if you're going to open back up, let some of these independent film directors and creators, let them do some watch parties. Again, you still got to abide by the health laws and everything else, but they'll be able to get people in there. Because at this point, as a business on that end, and you own theaters, how am I going to get people in here so we can make money? We can sell some products even, and food and whatever else it is that we do. It's going to be scaled down some, just like these, these arenas and everything else. It's going to be scaled down to an extent, but we're able to do something. You have to think outside of the box and sometimes do some things that you wouldn't have been open to doing, which
Yeah, but
is
you got to pay the bills too. That's
Exactly.
the catch to that.
yeah. It's got to make sense. No, it's got to make sense still, but it's going to be less than the big studios that you would get
I'm
a
just
large
saying,
amount
like,
of money for them. So
as
it's
far
just
as
something, maybe
keeping a
something to
building
entertain.
going that you was making, X amount of dollars with, and that was covering the cost to operate it, you're not making that no more. That's cutting into your profit. So you might be able to keep it open, but you're making nothing, possibly, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's time to
10%
scale
profit or
down.
something. Yeah.
But even still, though, that's a space for Netflix, Hulu, companies like that. They already doing that, plugging with the independent directors and just dealing with the industry as a whole and pulling
Yep.
people. That's why we're seeing a lot of the actors and actresses doing Netflix pop-up movies.
And that's exactly, and I'm going to be honest, because there's a few, I won't name them, but there is a few that's on, like you just mentioned, whether if it's Netflix or the Stars app. I'm seeing Robin Givens. I'm seeing just all, because now people are able to resurrect their careers as far as in acting, because there's a lot of independent films now. They're able to make more of them Because guess what? Those, like you just mentioned, from Hulu to the Stars app to all the individual apps, even outside of Netflix, they all need content. They all need everything. So you're right, they're partnering with them. And so guess what that means? We can start making our own individual series, weekly
Yeah.
series now, as well as independent movies. So all of a sudden now, these B-list actors and stuff, Montel, hey, they're getting the call now. The phone's ringing again.
It
So
could happen. It could happen.
It's
no, that
happening.
is happening as far
It's
as on that
happening.
level with
Yeah,
the
it's
Netflix
happening
and all
now.
that stuff. That's what's happening right now.
It's
with that
definitely
stuff.
happening. And we do have
Yeah.
y'all boy Tyler Perry doing his thing down there in Atlanta.
Oh
So
man.
I don't know. Maybe he about to open a pop up with a new streaming service and get all the black folks jobs and movies.
Shout out to Tyler Perry, man. Let some of them other talented writers write some of them scripts, man. We're getting tired of that content.
Straight up. I'm with that.
That's actually a great point. That is a great point. Because everything's got its touch of Medea and men coming up short and doing some abuse and we need to fight them. And all the guys got their shirts off. You got to get some other writers in there that's going to change that whole narrative. That's because those three things are like his cornerstones of all of his material. You know it. That's how you know it came from him, from Tyler Perry.
Yeah, man.
All right, well, look, before we jump in the queue, because I know y'all trying to get on that, I had a question. Just something I want to know how y'all feel about, well, the question was, is there a difference between endorsing and supporting? And then what made me think about it is obviously the Cube thing too, but there's a story about a Kentucky Attorney General. His name's Daniel Cameron, and he's a black person who is in support of the Trump-Pence ticket. And he just had to recently get like government-funded security because he got threats to his well-being and his family's well-being. And you know how we get when, or not we, just black folks in general, when you don't support what they support. So I don't know what y'all think about that. I mean, that'll help us transition into the Cube situation, but do you think there's a difference between endorsing anything, whatever, a person or a movement or whatever, or supporting the movement?
I think you can intelligently support or endorse, the movement and not necessarily the person.
So there is a difference between the two, you saying? I'm just trying to understand.
There is. There is a difference. There is a difference. Because I can support you and disagree with you on certain issues, but if I have a business or just anything that I'm dear about, and you may have 10 things that's on your platform, I may not endorse you as a person, but I could support you enough to get you elected or to work with you on issues that is relevant to me and my cause. And that's kind of like what I try to tell people is you don't know any candidate you're voting for. So you trying to like them and, agree with every point, you may not get that far with that. But what you can do is support the policy and not the person. So I would rather support rather than endorse, because when you're endorsing somebody, you're saying, hey, man, I'm putting my seal of approval on this person. And that doesn't have anything to do with policy. I can like you as a person,
but it could be the movement,
but you can be
too,
a piss poor politician.
But it could be a movement, though. You could be endorsing a movement, which is not a person. I'm sure there's a lot of policies that movement stands for, and if you endorse it, then you automatically support those policies or endorse them.
That's true. That's true.
What you think, Drew?
That support starts going hand in hand, because if you're seen with somebody, or you decided that you're gonna support this one thing or show up for this one event, or hey, this is a function that I appreciate, that still can get confused with supporting a person in their overall things that they're involved with. Because as humans, again, things that's been taught is, well, you associate yourself with that, or hey, birds of a feather, or watch the company you keep, all those old things that was said through the years, and that's being as kids and all that good stuff. Well, that's what naturally happens. So you're right with what you're saying, Skrilla, and I agree with it on you can you may have the outline of doing it separately, but with other people looking on, they view that as the two are one and the same. That's what I would say to that. So
I think
it
that
can get looked at like that.
right. I think if you go outside of your, your way to support something or to be a part of something, then, like, for example, I have to send you my logo for you to stamp it on this movement that you got going on, or I have to record a video and talk about whatever you doing, or show up at something with you. That's more like an endorsement, I think.
Exactly. I can support you from the back and not be seen with you. I can be in the background and support whatever we agree upon, just like a business deal. I mean, you might go.
Yeah,
to
that's where you're right. That's where the separation comes.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. In 1 second. Maybe 2. I know it's gonna jump on. We having technical difficulties here.
You are listening to Talk 100 with Tim Skrilla, D Murdoch, and Jay Raphael. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard
Now they've been killing Cube for, I guess, supporting or just meeting with Donald Trump. I don't know if they feel like he's supporting or endorsing him. I think that a lot of people felt like he was endorsing the Trump-Pence card or whatnot. And like you said, D-Mar, earlier, I saw the video and I heard his response, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, Cube has this, I don't know if it's a movement or whatever it is, but it's the CWBA he mentioned, the contract with Black America. And that's what he was there to discuss with Donald Trump. And they pegged it as what was it, Montel? The platinum
plan.
Yeah, the platinum plan.
I like to play on words. You got the rapper, the platinum chain,
Yeah, right.
platinum plan.
Platinum chain, the platinum game, all that stuff. Yeah,
Hey, who came
it
up
all
with that?
goes in the same thing.
But it's racist if Trump them came up with it, right? If Cube came up with it, it's all right. That's, we're going to try to find the argument and everything.
Well, here's the thing. He met with Jared Kushner less than 2 months ago, and people are finding it to be convenient because, of course, there hasn't been any touring. Just like right now, what is it? Everything's shut back down, like you just said about Kamala Harris and all of them. But basically, it's very convenient. That's how, of course, people are going to see it, that you're pulling out all the stops. Why wasn't this platinum plan just last August? Forget even just 2 years ago, or first time of the whole, when he first came in office. But that wasn't the case. And so now, where everybody's not supposed to clearly see, I'm going to pull out all the stops. I'm not going to be surprised if another 7 days from now, it won't happen. But Kaepernick's name get mentioned, and hey, you know what? I think the league should put him back. Just anything, because we're talking about, hey, you're going to go for broke because you got one person trying to stay in office and the other person is not. And so even for some people, they just feel like, hey, if you're Ice Cube, why would you let yourself be able to be even entangled with being used? And Ice Cube's response was, he wants to talk to both sides and just say, hey, I'm pushing this plan on whoever it is. I'm not siding with him. That's what he said today. He tried to make clear. But I'm pushing this on Biden and Trump, whoever's going to be in there. We know somebody going to be in there as president. I'm just saying these are the things culturally that we want, and that's all he did. And I understood that, but it's just with black people, they're like, well, you're talking to a brick wall. How's that going to work? And I wouldn't deal with them at all. You know how our people can get. A portion of them that had that mindset. So, what you think, Mattel?
Well, you got to think about it. If Ice Cube was an elected official, he would be meeting with the Trump campaign administration anyway. And so, as that goes for any politician. So, in politics and getting things done, you have to meet with the opposition, if you want to call it that. But the fact that that is even being entertained, when Obama said, "Oh, I'm not just the president of black folks, so you got nothing," and Kamala Harris came out and said, "Oh, I can't just do things for black folks." The fact that Trump is even entertaining it is a testament to how much we've have committed to one party and get nothing for it. So at least if you deal with the other side, you can negotiate something. Because we've been getting nothing with both sides.
Well, you get something. You've been getting services. You got plenty of services with the big government movements.
Yeah, with big government comes big taxes, and that doesn't support. If we're going to say, okay, we're going to make an economic plan, then making government bigger, that goes against that whole idea. So if you want a free market, if you want to excite the economic situation, then you have to look at business policies. We got a lot of handouts, and when you break that stuff down, a lot of that money goes to administration. So there is a way that we can become free economically, but we have to think outside the box and quit doing the same thing, because we'll keep getting the same results. I'm not saying that it was a smart move on Q's part at this point in time, because it's an election season. Like you said, he should have been addressed that 4 years ago. The problem that I had with Steve Harvey meeting with Trump is when the camera was on, he looked guilty. So it doesn't, if he was standing up for us behind closed doors, then I could rock with that. But I don't have a problem with us dealing with any politician, because all politicians unite and do different things with each other across that aisle. So what makes it different from for a citizen to do the same thing? That's that. We got to be more intelligent.
Well, we can't see that though. You're right. I agree with you 100%. But the difference is viral coverage. Cube stuff went viral. You don't see them shaking hands across the aisle. That's not really, put up in everybody's face. So we need something.
Actually, it is. If you watch C-SPAN and turn off that Atlanta Housewives, and you watch C-SPAN, you'll see that they actually.
You have to go to that. You have to go to that. Cube came to your inbox at 8 a.m. His story is circulated everywhere you go, not just C-SPAN or wherever else. So that's the difference, man. And obviously, it's targeted, like it's strategic. They're gonna let you see what they want you to see. Period.
But the Democrats told them that they wouldn't meet with them until after the election.
Yeah, I saw that.
Again, so like it's like one side is not even putting out any policy for you. Biden told you if you don't know if you're gonna vote for me or him, then you're not black. It's just like, okay, if you black, you vote for me. But what are your policies? What is your platform that you're running on? You can't just point your finger at that man and say, oh, he's a bad president.
Right. Tell us some details you got in your plan for Black America.
Because that seems to be the platform. There is no plan for Black America.
Well,
they hadn't addressed that.
That's what he said at the Breakfast Club. Is he got this plan for Black America, and he didn't really go into it much, but so we didn't hear no policies or whatever. But
And months later, we still haven't, but it's the thing to say. You know, like my son went to the mailbox and, you know, we've been getting a lot of political ads. And, you know, he looked at John James and he said, oh, y'all got to vote for such and such. He's telling us who to vote for because he's reading those pamphlets. And that's how that mindset. I said, well, son, why would we vote for that person? You know, well, they said that they'll do this, or they you know, they care about this. And that's the extent of adults. They say, okay, well, this politician said that, but you know, you have a track record you can go by, 41 years if you're dealing with Biden, Kamala Harris, 20 plus years, and you can tell what they are about. You know, and it's kind of like you haven't had a plan all these years, but now it's the thing to say. It's the climate to say. But Obama, he couldn't touch it. You know, it's just politics, and they can say anything. But that is part of being an intelligent voter. And if we're going to vote as a group, we should hold all sides accountable for what they tell us. And we should take notes. When they lie to us, hey, man, such and such lied, man, we ain't supporting that no more. Let's not just stay in the same bed and get nothing. That's my point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Q put out, I don't know if it was a tweet or something, but he was just talking about, did you see what he was saying? Every time he was called to sell out, when he started rapping, he was a sellout. When he quit NWA, he was a sellout. When he started the Big Three, he was a sellout. Basically, he was just saying, like, I don't really care what nobody's saying, man. I'm gonna still keep on moving and elevating and do what I do. You know, I was feeling that. You know, he's not gonna let everybody break him down into not doing what he feels is the right thing to do. Which I don't mind him meeting with Trump. I don't mind nobody. I don't mind Kanye meeting with Trump. I don't care about that.
If they can get something done, I would support it. You know, they went against Cube when he supported St. Ives. Now everybody got a liquor, you know, Ciroc, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, right. I mean, if you're going to be that revolutionary leader and free thinker, you may do some things that may look, but the fact that he did it publicly, I respect it, and he's standing on it. That's what you expect a man to do. You can disagree with him all you want, and that's fine, but don't attack the man's character because he's been speaking truth to power for a lot of years. So I look at his track, you know, like I say, you look at a person's track record. He has a track record of speaking out. You know, he spoke out against police brutality when no one else was saying it. You know, so the man has some credibility. So let's be more intelligent and let's wait and see, because that's all you can do. You can throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what stick. But if you're going to support people that just don't even consider your plight, then I think that's not intelligent. Mm-hmm. No matter what party you support.
Yeah. We'll see how it all plays out. I think it's just going to die down, though. With old
It
Q.
will.
Yeah. It ain't that much. It ain't that important. It's not more important than that $40,000 a month that Jesse Williams got to pay in child support on this divorce settlement. I ain't laughing at him, but it's just crazy how the system do, man. Like, did y'all get a chance to check it out? I didn't read the story, that story either. I'm a headliner, so I'm just checking out the headlines. I skimmed through it. So, I mean, it ain't, only facts I'm talking about is the fact that he's ordered to pay this money. She getting all the houses. Like, they got houses from California to New York and all these other places.
She getting it all.
She getting all that. But
we know what time it is.
Yeah, but it say the TMZ headline I was looking at it say he gets a big chunk of her money. I don't really understand that part of it. What kind of money?
Okay, all right.
What is she worth? I don't really know much about her. But they got joint custody.
I never heard of her either, but man, that's a tricky situation, man, because you want to take care of your family, right? And then, I mean, why are we divorcing? You know, did you go out and get a side guy? I'm not going to support you and your side guy. I'm sorry.
Well, that's where we're on a slippery slope, because the money that comes in, we can't control how that's, or the man can't control how that's going to get spent. You just have to do your part, as in, responsibilities for paying the help, with the kids, or in that case, also if it's alimony, that's kind of what that is. And remember, they can play that game where they don't get married, because then that would cut that off. So that way they can still get the alimony. Plus they have a new person in their life, just like you might have a new person in life. So, and I don't think that's a big deal about somebody moving on, but I get what you're saying. It's like, wait a minute. I just want to take care of and be responsible for the stuff that I'm supposed to be responsible for. A kid, and then for a certain amount of time, alimony for, because that's laid out that way. That's just how it works legally or whatever. But any of the extras. But unfortunately, those lines will get blurred, and monies that get spent and allocated. So I think the best thing to do, just me personally, and some guys on that way, is you kind of almost have to shut it off in your head.
Hey, bro,
Otherwise, you're gonna have bad fellas.
if I'm spending that much money a month, man, I'm gonna be staying in the basement, the garage, or something. Hey, man, I ain't turning my keys in. I'm paying the bills in this house. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming in that bad. Hey, what y'all doing? Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, I like to see you say that to the
I'm
judge.
gonna give me some drink, man. I'm gonna post up, man. Hey, man, this is my house. Hey,
that sounds
my
good
rules,
until the
my
courts
house.
get involved. That sounds all great until the courts get into it. That's why you got to have a prenuptial agreement. If you're feeling like that and you work for all of that money like that, hey, we got to have an understanding, some type of letter of understanding of how things gonna flow. You know what I'm saying? And you can, and I would even agree to whatever could happen after the fact. Like, you paying money, but I'm not. Come on now, I'm not finna be agreeing to me just like what you said, taking care of you, your new man, and all this other type of stuff. That's ridiculous to me, man. It's a flaw in the system, and I think stuff like that is the reason why the divorce rate is at an all-time high.
Yeah, I mean that's really the I call it the basketball housewife hustle. What I'm saying? You get with a guy, man, he making good money. He gonna cheat on you. You just wait it out, have a couple kids, man. Now you got your exit plan, man. You set for life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a hustle, man. And these guys got to be smart on who they dealing with, man, because at the end of the day, you could find yourself into that situation where, you are paying this woman, the alimony that she may not deserve.
No doubt.
Just in the case of Dr. Dre, he got the ruling in his favor though, and they try to say that she embezzled $400,000 or whatever. So
now, also, she took some money.
that's what the headline I read was, and but the courts they didn't give her that money that she was seeking. So in that case, he got real lucky, man, because when you start looking at that breakdown of what she was saying, and this high lifestyle you want to live, I mean, you're paying $1 million for this, and like massages and just all this little, I mean, come on, man. At some point, you
At
hate
some
me.
point, to me, yeah, it should
It
get
got,
old. Plus, that should get
yeah.
old. That should get old anyway, just to me. I mean, and I'm not rich, so I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't with me. But to me, I would think that certain things would get a little old, or you get used to it. So it's not you don't try to overindulge. And that's just the way it is. Like at some point, if I drive a Ferrari and then I drive a Rolls Royce and I drive these different cars back and forth and a Range Rover and this, that, and the other, actually that becomes no different than driving a Chevy Impala. As you keep going, the value isn't in that, but I'm talking about your mindset, because it becomes second nature. It becomes, that's what you actually all and how your life is. But if you got the mindset that you're trying to constantly get to a new height, like how it was when you first got to that point, and you're chasing that, kind of like chasing a high off of a drug. That's why drug addicts don't get off drugs. And constantly you're in a circle of trying to chase that first time of whatever it was that got you connected. If that's what she's doing or somebody's doing relative to riches and how much, and I top that, then all you're doing is you're just wearing out bank accounts, wearing out lines of credit and everything else. And that is absolutely not the kind of woman that I ever want to be with, whether if I'm rich or even just doing okay. Because that mindset is off to me.
That's a fact.
So D Morrow, you signing a prenup, man? You gonna make
No.
sign a prenup?
Having said all that, no, I'm not signing a prenup. Isn't that weird? Said all of that, but no, I don't believe in prenuptial agreements.
Just search NCG Media and on YouTube, Talk 100, and Facebook, Talk 100.
Now, speaking of these basketball players, like you said, Montel, your boy Carl Anthony Towns, D. I don't know if you've seen that, but his girlfriend Jordan Woods, she just got on the OnlyFans, and I guess she doing some I don't know, extra suggestive type of videos on this platform, and that kind of stirred up a little controversy about, you know, these kind of women or these kind of people who take advantage of, you know, that platform is basically, I say it's widely used by sex workers. Like, there's a lot of people on there, you know, it's a content sharing type of platform or whatnot, but those are the type of, you know, people who are involved with this in exchange for profit. So what you think about that? I mean, would you consider her or people like her somebody who would be, I don't know, somebody to step away from or make that your wife?
If Carl Anthony Towns was my brother, my little brother, because I'm older than he is, I'd be telling him to never ever speak to her again and not choose nobody like that. That's exactly what I would be saying. Because what are you doing? Like I tell you what, Patrick Mahomes, who just won the Super Bowl this year, and he's young. What is he, 21 years old or 22 years old? He's about to have a baby. And then he just got engaged with his fiance. So he just got engaged and they got a baby on the way. I've seen her page too. And you see certain guys who, whether they're young or old, she does not have no trashy social media platform. She is not on there dancing, not on there regular, nice, the quote unquote Instagram model look where it is. And so that gives, at least from the surface, and I don't know or whatever, and I know his parents is, but from the surface and from anybody checking it out, that, okay, hey, she has some sense. This is a clean cut, nice girl that you want and everything else. Not nobody that's advertising and that you got to look over your shoulders for. So if she did, that's what she's been doing, Carl Anthony Towns, you need to really think that through. Because again, having somebody that you're having some fun with and all of that other stuff, which some of these guys, they may do, that's two separate things from quality and who you want to really, really be with. Because that represents you. That stuff she's doing, that represents him. Somebody I'm with, that's you represent me like that?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be down with it either. You know, I saw her little comeback. I saw her. She did a video. She was interviewing with somebody, and she was talking about it. And she said that pretty much Carl is down with it, and she reached out to him or let him see everything that she does before she put it up there. But she quickly stepped on that and said, "Well, you know, I don't have to let anybody know what I'm doing, but you know, I let him know just for whatever reason." I forget what she said, but it was to that point, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be moving on from that one too.
Hey man, but some of these girls are just for fun, man. And if you gotta be smart enough to realize that, you know, if he gonna wife her up, then he gotta understand what he getting. And that's, you know, she
Well, he might not be ready to get married though either.
Exactly.
Offset
So
was.
Well, speaking of Offset and Cardi, did y'all see that picture?
Well, what are they doing now?
What, Cardi with her titties out or something like that?
Yeah, man.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
She had the pancakes on display, man.
Wow.
Was this what was this, in an open picture? Like, what was?
Yeah, man, they was making fun of her areolas, man. They look like some brown pancakes, and, you know.
Yeah, I read that too. I didn't see the picture though. But
I saw it. I didn't see the nipple, but I saw the like, man. So they had memes of people making pancakes, man.
She said, "People's crazy with this. I'm gonna just put myself out there." You know, it seemed like it used to be something they might be self-conscious about, and they just throw it out there just to, to try to face their fears, so to speak. You know, she seemed like one of those types.
Well, apparently her excuse was that she was drunk. It was her birthday night, and she accidentally uploaded the picture. I mean, that could be true, but
I mean,
Duh.
once again, this is the kind of stuff that fuels Candace Owens. You talking to me about these policies, and then you turning around and doing stuff like this.
I didn't hear her chime in on this one, man. I think the people know what it is, but I mean, that's her lane, man.
Yeah.
You want Cardi Ratchet. That's what you known her for.
And see, that's why when we talk about Karl Anthony Towns and what you were saying, D, selecting somebody like that, every problem has the internet in the equation, that made that problem a problem. You know what I mean? And the fact that we're able to see these celebrities, make certain decisions, it's influential, man. So crazily on everybody, including people with money. It's difficult for like people to see what we saying, you know what I mean? Because, like you say, you want somebody respectable, D-Mar, like you don't want to have to but then they'll start saying, well, what is respectable? Why does this have to be disrespect?
They both of us have to have some respect. Like on my pages and on my social media and everything else, like it's not going to be random pictures of just crazy looking behavior with different, whether it was different with women and even just with guys. Just like, man, look like y'all just kind of wilding out with what you're doing and how it looks and all this kind of stuff, and how because again, when you with somebody, they basically represent you, because again, how other people feel about it and you feel about it too is yeah, I made a decision to choose this person. That means when you cut up or you act in reverse, that's the person you chose. Almost similar, same different principle, but same thing. Your kids, they get to act up everything else. They shaming everybody. They shaming the coach. You making your dad look crazy. Your mom and everything. Oh my God, who raised him? Who's influencing him? Oh my God, it's the same principle. Wait a minute, she just out there just doing this, that, and the other. She got a hookah in her hand and her girl dancing behind her, and they got her in the sandwich. I mean, what is she doing? I mean, what kind of lifestyle is this? And then there's another guy that he grabbing her shirt, and like this stuff just it's perception is a form of reality, and how it gets stained. So it just those are the decisions, things we got to think about.
It's like you're getting an overload, man. It's like you're getting an overload and you just can't turn it off. It's like you can't turn none of this craziness off. It's just in your face all day, every day. Even if you're just in your email thing, you getting ads popping up over there too. It's like
But sometimes, J. Ralph, some people are made to be. So honestly, Cardi B needs to keep doing what she's doing, because first of all, Offset is a country street person. He's not no clean cut. This is not Will Smith. This is not somebody who's clean cut and he goes to the office every day, and which again, you chose her. But let's just say, okay, he's with her, and they're the odd couple, and they're just
But can you say that he matches her raunchiness or whatever? I don't think that's equal.
Not to the highest level, but I'm saying they're not off base with each other.
All right, okay.
I mean, he may not publicly be with it, but he got some side piece that he had a couple side pieces. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but he just got
caught,
man. But he just got caught up with that. It's not like he putting it out here saying that, I'm finna go link up with her. Like she putting.
But that's how he living though, and she know how he living, and it is what it is. And they may be happy with it.
But that's not the point. But the point is that everybody else don't know. She put herself. She exposed herself publicly. he just getting caught doing stuff in private. He rap
True.
about whatever he rap about. So it's a difference with how, they are. It's just a difference to me, man. What about Young Dolph though? Y'all see he getting sued for posting a twerk video of this I guess supporter of his. I don't really know her, but she's a military worker, and
She's a fan of his music.
well, she was listening to one of his songs and she was twerking that thing for his song.
That's what I'm saying. For her
Got
to be
caught.
moving like that, that means she was a fan. That means it.
Well, I don't know if
it
he knows her
motivated
personally though. That's what I'm saying. It seemed like they might have known each other personally, and he posted this picture because he had the picture. He posted it on one of his social media accounts, and she's suing him now for everything that she could possibly sue him for because she got relieved of service. So she's not in the military no more. She was disciplined, and she had this moment of I don't know, PTSD or whatever, and they fired her. So, but what it make me think about is that I don't know if y'all remember some years back when, like, I think it was California was had laws about like revenge porn and all this type of stuff. It seemed like it's kind of like in that category, even though this might not have been for revenge. He was clearly trying to promote his album and everything, but he didn't get her permission. So now she's suing him for like invasion of privacy, emotional distress.
Leave me alone while I'm twerking in your music. Don't you dare put that out. I was having me in my own private moment.
But how did
And
he
here
get
you
it, though?
are.
If she didn't post it, how did he get it? So she might have
No,
sent it to him.
what I'm looking at the video right now. This was
Uh-oh.
posted.
But
I
by
knew my
him,
tails.
though.
I knew Skilla was gonna go and
I
check
see
it out,
the
baby.
video, but it was posted by him though. He
Yeah,
posted
but
the video. That's
she's
why
getting
she's suing him.
recorded.
But how did he get his hands on it? You're right. That's the
Exactly.
question
Well, that's
we
what I'm
want to
saying.
know.
Posted it.
Listen, what I look at it as is that she let somebody record it with her phone and maybe sent it to him, and then
Okay,
he went
okay.
public with it. So without her permission. That's what
And
it
here's
looked
the
like.
thing. And see, but see, when we stop right there, that's the interesting part, right there what you just said. Because now, these days, you technically can DM anybody, because once you connect with them, they're famous or not. It's just that they most likely don't respond, right? But sometimes, in the case of certain thing, whether if it's a guy who he's feeling the woman or whatever, he could be famous or whatever. But if he's feeling one of these chicks off of social media, he may respond. Well, in this case, I think you're right. Might have sent that video over and tried to get a private response from him. Well, what he
you
did
don't
is
know
he did
that.
some other
You
stuff.
don't know that. That's going too far. You don't know that.
That's going a little too far?
Yeah.
Okay.
This could be just
All
somebody
right.
that.
Reel me back in there, baby. Reel me back in. Reel
Hey,
me
but
back
look,
in. But
this could just be somebody he knew, and just like that, outside of
It says a former friend.
right. So
So-
see, they have a history.
Oh, there you go. That's why I like with my tail. You next to that Google, baby. You
So-
getting us the information we need.
Yeah. So I don't know. If you think she gonna be able to get paid for that? Well, she did.
Well, how
lose
much
her
is she
job.
asking for?
Well, I don't know exactly, but she's suing for financial loss, damage to her reputation, humiliation, mental anguish, all these different things.
What did the military say? How did they feel about that
They
twerking video?
fired
They
her.
know some of those Army vets.
She was
How did
released.
they feel about
Leave,
that?
man.
But hold on, though. I got to back up for a minute. As many women have come out against the Army, the Navy, the Army and just other little government agencies about rape and sexual harassment. You mean to tell me they have such a high standard that is just against their protocol for a woman to dance, twerk, regard? She wasn't naked. She wasn't, doing anything, in scantily clothes, dressed or whatever. But
Well, if you listen to the audio, it might be probably just what he was saying. If you listen to the audio, it's audio that go with that. So he was talking about possibly some illegal activities and just, profanity and all this type of stuff. They didn't want to be represented like that, and she should have expected that that could go. I mean, why would you even record that and send it to somebody? Once you send it off, It's over with.
You're in control. You're not in control
It's a wrap.
anymore of where it is.
You can
Yep,
lose your
that is
job.
I
absolutely
mean
correct.
that's true, but I mean we've
But
seen
my take, but
waterboarding, we've seen a lot of different things uh, by soldiers, and you read some of those cases, they do a whole lot worse than twerking. So again, I mean, she could have been reprimanded, but just to be relieved of her duty,
mm,
I don't agree with that part. You know, I mean, they got too much dirt on their hands, and you just so self-righteous that twerking is just so appalling. They got Satanist priests that say that come on and just like a reverend or something, like it's a religion. They allow
hmm
all kind of different things in that realm, and then this woman gets relieved of her duties. Okay, I mean, I
it's
get
very,
it.
yeah, that's unfortunate. It is, and that's the bite of the internet because, and that's how it works. Just try to tell young people, especially because, and even some older people got to be reminded, but definitely the younger people, 21 years old, 22 or whatever. As much as, hey, right now I'm living a free life, I'm just having fun, or just whatever the case may be. You do something, and it could be just something as simple as you work for whatever company, and they come into work and they let you go
We,
because you know you were doing something that they deem is bad for their brand.
but you bomb countries for a living, and you kill women and children with those bombs, and twerking is that bad?
Well, that's for
If she was dancing to Van Halen, twerking, would she still be relieved of her duties? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just asking a question.
Well, I think they
he
kind of
said
covered
Van
themselves
Halen.
because the article that I read on TSR.com was saying that it seemed like she got relieved of her duties after the discipline, and she felt like that's when she had the post traumatic stress from. So the impact of this video being online, plus her getting disciplined, sent her to the state of mind where she is now, and then they had to let her go because of that. So I don't know. It might be covered, but it's an interesting case. I'm gonna try to keep up on it and
Very
see how
Somebody's
that play
covering
out.
something. Somebody's covering something up. But in the meantime, what she's want from Young Dove is, you said you bought a new car with some trap money and a new Porsche and all this other stuff. Well, she wants some money now too. She want $100,000
No,
to help her
she
out.
gonna go for the whole meal ticket, baby.
She
You know what
better.
I'm saying? Hey, I lost my pension. I lost my. Hey, man. Hey.
Everything.
You know.
Financial loss, baby. They finna rack that up.
Hey, but if Pookie that didn't have a job would have did the same thing, she just would have lost her job. I mean, what
Mm.
she couldn't have sued nothing, huh?
Hey, what about
You know.
Brad? What about if Brad did it? What would
Oh,
have
if
happened to
Katie,
Brad?
if Katie was dancing, and sent that to Brad, then I'm pretty sure that may not have even hit the airwaves.
Nah,
You
they'd
see
have
how
been
that
like,
go?
"Ooh, look at this military girl. Get it, girl. Get it, girl."
Yeah, see, that's how it go. That's how it go. And it's so interesting too, though, because I just seen a black lady. She was in the military and she had graduated, and they had like a little ceremony for her. And she was not necessarily twerking like that, but she was doing her little dance, going down a little, runway. And, I mean, come on, man. Them guys, man, get drunk every weekend and go buy hookers. I'm talking about all over the world. The
Yeah.
American military is known for buying, and you let that represent you, but twerking. So I disagree with that part. I mean, she can try to do the money play thing, but shoot, I'd be trying to sue them because, like, wait a minute, man, I can pull this up and this, that, woo, woo. Like, come on, man. And
Yeah.
again, I say they bomb people. Like, so how is this twerking hurting your image?
Yeah. That's craziness. Hey, but we got one more headline. So this last thing we're gonna get at is the headline segment. It's gonna be a new thing we do where we just throw out this headline and we just kind of go off. Now with this one, I got a video attached to it. But before I do it, I just want to say thank y'all for checking us out tonight. Talk100.com. I'm Jay Raphael here with my brothers Montel, Skrilla, and D Marl. This is what we do every Friday. We just kick it, chop it up about what's going on in the world, try to understand or make some points here and there. If y'all want to tune in and or be a part of the conversation, just hit us up on the website. Skrilla be checking out the comments section, so y'all can ask him a question and we can just get the conversation going. So this last segment is the headline, and what should I do? Read the headline first or play the video?
No, play that bad boy, man. I want to hear
All
that.
right, so we got audio right here.
I'm the only person who only liking the pictures that I like. You fake motherfuckers will see something you like and don't even like it because you fake. You don't want to look thirsty. You worry about what somebody say. You got to answer to your bitch like a bitch. I'm a boss. I don't answer to no bitch. I don't give a if I like the picture. If the bitch fine, I'm liking the picture. If I think she fine, I'll put hard eyes under. I'm not bowing down to no bitch ever. I'm going to always be the man in the relationship, and the bitch is going to bow down to me, period, like the say these days. You South ass and let the whole world change and let the girls be the man now. South ass. If I see a picture I like, I'm liking that motherfucker, and the bitch can say whatever the she want to say and get mad if she want to get mad, and I don't give a because I'm the man and I can do what the I want to do. And secondly, I'm single.
So that was
Wow.
that was audio from Slim Thug.
Wow.
We got that from TSR.com. So he calls out, and they headliners that he calls out soft men and says a woman should bow down to him. What's your thoughts, fellas?
I mean,
Wow.
I get his sentiment of what he's trying to say. You know, like the man wears the pants. I mean, does that give you the liberty to do outside of what y'all agreed to? I mean, if you're in an open relationship, then you do what you do, or you ain't that serious with them. You know, y'all do what y'all do. But who
Wait,
gonna be
wait,
the
wait,
first
wait.
one to jump out there, man, and get in these inboxes, man?
All right, wait. Before
Basically,
you get in, I just got to say this. There's another 4-minute video. We ain't going to play that one, but he also says that he's single in this video. So I think that's something important to know, too, with, how he was talking. And before you go in.
yeah, I mean, you know, you could have it that way. If that's what you standing on, you can have it that way. If a woman gonna be with you, she gonna be with you because she like you. And if you put it on the table and she agreed to it, that's just what y'all have. I mean, some people may say it was a male chauvinistic rant or whatever the case may be, but you know, if you're gonna be genuine, he's not a religious leader or we gotta let people be who they are, man. We can't expect Slim Thug from the north side of Houston, who has never, proclaimed to be any moral leader or anything like that. You gotta let him have his way. If that's what it is, I respect it because at least he put it on the table. You know, I mean, it may go against your moral code or your moral standard, but I'm just all for transparency. That's just me. I ain't here to judge him. I think it's funny though.
Is you
You
the
know?
captain of the ship or not?
You better be. Get in them inboxes. All week we in the inboxes. Slim Thug told me that.
Yeah, it's real funny. I think that, well, the part is, the thing of it is he's actually calling out the other fellas who kind of want to comply to having the respect and boundaries in the relationship and stuff. That's the part where, just like what you saying, Skrilla, hey, he should have put that in there. And it don't mean the guys are square if they're trying to do that. They just decided, because that's a decision. On each end that you decide, you making a decision. You know what? No, you know what? I'm cool with these boundaries being here because I want this to be a certain way too, that we both ain't gonna do. And they sit down, those two, that man and that woman or whatever, and then you have it where it's like, okay, hey, it's gonna be like this now. I'm not answering to that or whatever else, and that's his side or other guys. And then you got some women that might be that way too. I don't like when no guy be always saying, hey, you know, what you doing, hanging out, going over here, and it's, you know, you got a couple of guy friends that you work with, and you going, as you saying, you going to shoot pool with them, and it's a bunch of male workers and all this other stuff. Like, these are situations that people are deciding, making decisions on. So however it's gonna be, yeah, that's kind of what
All
you
right.
that's kind of what you do.
Do you like? Let's just address what he said. Then, do you like other women? If you're in a relationship, if you see somebody else that you might feel is attractive, do you not like it because your girl might see it, or do you just don't do it out of respect for your girl, or what? Or do you just feel it and do it?
I don't. I personally, in that scenario, I would be the one to not go out and seek new pictures. That's across my thing, especially
Well,
depending on
not
if it's
nude
how they
pictures.
look
Don't have
at.
to be nude. I mean, just somebody who you might think is attractive to you. I mean, you see it. Everybody feel it, and you scrolling.
Oh well,
Everybody's scrolling. You see
I mean,
somebody who's attractive. Do you like what you see, or you just get on past it because you don't want people to think or seeing you liking somebody, some Instagram model?
well, I don't do that. So that very reason of because of business and everything, some other just other reasons, period. And then if I was with somebody, I am gonna throw the respect in for them, especially if it is a, like you just said, quote unquote Instagram model. But however, if it is somebody I know, if it is a decent picture, and yeah, it could be women in it, it could be all four women, right? And they're having something or whatever, say at a party or they whatever, and it's just a nice picture, I'm gonna like it. But just to do indirect, I mean, a direct thing where this particular woman is a certain look, mm-mm, I'm not doing it. And it's just for a few reasons, actually. It ain't even just for just the woman. It's for a couple reasons. So I don't do it now. But yeah,
I,
that's one of them funny ones. People get in trouble with this internet stuff, like you said, J. Rap.
it's a thin line, man. And then too, just me being the type of guy that I am, man. Like I don't like to gas up some of these girls, man,
That's
because
another thing.
that's to me. Like even if you single, man, and it's a certain level. Like I be seeing guys, oh, you wifey. How you know she wifey, man? I
How
don't
you know
respect
that?
all them filters. I don't, man. Like, hey, man, if I don't see you in real life without makeup, I ain't even respecting your look. You know what I'm saying? I got this saying, man, where you know what I'm saying, I like your presentation, but that doesn't even give me a real idea what you look like. So I don't really respect the this filter. Like, I mean, if you, man, these girls, man, they touching up their face, man, they got all this makeup on. So
Hmm.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to get so amped up on image, because these guys be real thirsty in these comments, man. I'll be looking, I look at the pictures, but at the
I
same
mean,
time, I'm not finna gas up their head, man,
yeah,
because
I mean, they
a lot of
lying
them,
to them, telling them they're gonna be somebody's wife, and oh man, you look like you could be a great mother. Now you
she
know you
thought it
you are
out. You talking
lying.
about she wifey because she got a
Yeah.
nice picture on the
No,
internet,
I've
dude.
seen them
Ah.
say it, but Skrilla, I've seen them say, "Hey, I know you probably a real good mother of your kid." They actually go that far with it. So you're gonna
Hey,
put her
but
in the same category as your mother, actually. Are
these
you kidding
celebrity
me?
women who doing the exact same thing is getting wifed up. That's the blueprint to
That's the blueprint
these
to it
cats
all,
on the
huh?
internet and just all that. That's the blueprint.
Oh man. Oh my
That's part of the
goodness.
plan now. So that's in the game.
Wow.
Hey, and she
Obviously,
just got flued out and got ran through all weekend. You up
all
there talking
week.
about she wifey, okay? Hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing, man. Just me personally, man, I'm just not
She
into
got the
that, man. As
pancakes
far as
out
just
for the
gassing.
whole world.
I mean, shoot your shot though. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you into, shoot your shot, man. You know, I mean, that's what they doing it for the attention and the clout. You know, I mean, have your fun if that's what you into, man. But I ain't gonna gas them up, me personally.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
Talk 100. This is what
Oh
we be
yeah.
doing on Fridays. Come holler at us.
Get in them inboxes. What's up,
Check us out on
wifey?
Facebook. And shout out to all the clean cut wifeys. That's right.
All the respectable ones.
And
Yeah.
y'all women bow down to your man all weekend.
Don't get us in trouble.
It's what we do
Oh,
on
man.
Fridays, though, 9 p.m. I'm Jay Raphael, Montel, Skrilla, and D-Mar right here on the line. Holla at us. Pour you a shot of your favorite drink. Sip something with us.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Listening to Talk 100 with Tim Skrilla, D Murdoch, and Jay Murphy. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.